Hello, welcome to Fighters Only Television. I'm John Joel Regan. I'm here in Stockholm, Sweden with Stefan Struve, who's here just as a fan this weekend, I guess.
Yeah, I'm doing some signings and some PR stuff for the UFC. So, and of course enjoying the show this Saturday. So it's gonna be good.
Enjoying yourself so far?
Yeah, we just flew in about an hour ago. So.
Fair enough. So not seen too much yet.
Not yet.
I spoke to you about 2 weeks ago in Liverpool. So I won't go over all that again. And if anyone wants to watch that, they can click on the link at the bottom of your screen now. But since then, things have changed a little bit. There's a lot of talk about your UFC 146 opponent, Mark Hunt, might possibly be getting moved out to face Junior Dos Santos in a title shot if Alistair Overeem is withdrawn from the bout. I take it you're not supporting the rally for Hunt?
I wish this Army of Doom has success with whatever they want to achieve for him. He's a great guy and he's a living legend. So he deserves all the success. But I'm not sure if he deserves a title shot with 3 wins in a row. Although those were 3 good wins. I'm just training my ass off for the fight with Hunt. I haven't heard anything from the UFC or whatsoever. So I think it's just his fans, and he's got a huge fan base. So that's why you're hearing so much about him.
I like the story. Did you ever see that film, Cinderella Man? The boxer, he's kind of like that. Like a year or 2 ago, Hunt was completely written off. He was a gone guy. Now he's come back from big wins, and I think it'd be a good story if it did happen. Not for you, but
well, good for him. But I don't think this is gonna be a Cinderella story for him. I think he's fighting me, and his streak has got to end somewhere. So I think it's gonna be May 26th when he's fighting me.
Well, the reason. Well, Overeem is probably going to stay in the bout. He's probably going to get a testosterone therapy exemption, is the story we're being told, is what we're hearing. Now, not about that case specifically, but just in general, because there seems to be a lot of this testosterone stuff coming out recently. What are your thoughts on it?
I would never use anything like that. I got a lot of questions from people if I would ever use something like that. If I would get in line for a title shot and I knew that I was fighting a guy that was stronger or whatever. If I can compete in my weight class with the guys who I think are doing it all natural, then I think I'm gonna retire. If I cannot win any fights anymore in my weight class without using whatever, For me, it's no sport anymore if you're going to use something like that. And I'm not sure what it's going to do with your body when you get, a little older and stuff. So, I don't know.
I agree. I do think he's kind of like rolling the dice a little bit because it's, you don't know what the long-term effects are or if you're affecting your own hormones or...
Yeah, what you said, if it's... if that's the story right now, that is testosterone replacement therapy, I don't know, then he should have asked for a license or something like that to use that. I'm not sure how it works. I got no idea, but it's a title fight, and in a title fight you need 2 guys who, in my opinion, is cheating. And in a title fight you don't need guys who cheat. It's 2 guys coming in, and you really want to have the best guy in the world, and you're not sure who's the best guy in the world if the one guy is cheating. So,
are you an Overeem fan in general? He's a fellow Dutchman, and
I loved watching him fight for the last couple of years. He's been really impressive, and the way he's been finishing his fights and everything is, I don't think there's a lot of people who don't like those fights. But, I think people are going to look at him completely different. You want a K1 title, you want a Dream title, you want a Strikeforce title, and, it's in a whole different daylight now with the stories going around. And, I'm not... judging or whatever, nobody really knows what happens until they heard his story, and I believe it's going to be the 24th of April, something like that.
The actual formal hearing is going to be on the 24th, yeah? Yeah,
so we'll see from there, and the NSAC will probably, have a judgment by then, so let's wait and see.
Okay. Very last question, because you just mentioned K1, again, being a Dutch guy, I assume you grew up as a K1 kickboxing fan, watched it quite close. Does it seem strange at all to you now? You're a young guy, like sometimes you might sit and think, wow, Mark Hunt, K1 champion. You probably watched him when you were a young guy, and now you're going to fight him. Yeah,
for sure. Me and my brother were always watching the K1 fights. I think I was about 12 to 14 years old when Mark won the title. So it's been a while, but I always love to watch his fights, and would have thought back then I would fight him. So it's going to be cool to be in Vegas in 6 or 7 weeks and fight that guy. So that's something to look forward to. Yeah.
Stefan, thanks very much for talking to us. All the best.